heart's broken, don't ever forget you're golden. I will find the light in your soul, I'll be there.
Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is finally a tutorial using the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Smells amazeballs. It is like the most delicious smelling palette ever. This is what it looks like if you guys haven't seen it previously. I'm sure you have. It is really beautiful. It's a really good like everyday sort of palette if you're someone who isn't really looking for like crazy pigmented eyeshadows and just want something that blends out beautifully and it's just a little bit more like for the everyday kind of person. This is definitely a good palette for you. However, if you are looking for crazy pigmentation, something like Makeup Geek or like there's other eyeshadows out there that are just like going to give you that really good color payoff instantaneously, then this probably isn't for you guys, because I did have a little bit of trouble building up the pigmentation. You can definitely get there, but it just takes a little bit longer. Anyway, I figured I would just do a peach themed makeup look for the Sweet Peach palette. And this is kind of what I came up with. You guys know I love a good old cut crease. Pretty much all of my tutorials are either cut creases or halo eyes. It's just my favorite thing to do, but I don't usually drag them out this far. I usually do like a half cut crease. So today I thought I would drag it all the way out and just show you guys how I like to personally do a cut crease like this. I've really been into like smoking out my lower lash line recently. If you guys want this to be a little bit more daytime appropriate, you can definitely get rid of the eyeliner in the waterline and just do like a white liner or like a lighter color, like a skin tone shade. But I definitely like the smoked out bottom line because it kind of contrasts with like the peachy softness of the lid and then just makes it a little bit more edgy, if you guys get me. So anyway, that's what I was kind of thinking for this tutorial. So I really hope that you guys like it. If you do, please give it a big thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below any other videos you guys would like to see or any other palettes you guys want me to film with, because if you guys haven't noticed, I really like to film palette themed makeup tutorials. I just feel like it's easier for you guys to do a look that has all the eyeshadows in one palette, if you get me. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go. I will see you guys in my next video. I love you. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. So we're starting out with my favorite hack for those of you who struggle with winged eyeliner and just getting your eyeshadow really neat. I know I do. I'm very messy and I just love like the little cheats kind of way. So just apply some tape on the outer corners of your eyes where you would like your eyeliner to sit. And it's just going to make it a world easier when you go in and try and get your wings even. It just gives it a really crisp line and it's just my favorite thing ever because I suck at eyeliner when I do it freehand. And then I'm going in and priming my eyelids with my soft ochre paint pot from MAC. This can get really cakey, so make sure you only use a little bit, and I like to use a fluffy brush. This is the E37 and I just like to kind of blend that out all over the eyelid. We're then taking the shade White Peach from the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette and just using that to set the entire eyelid. Makes it a lot easier when you go in with your crease and transition shades to blend them out a little bit more seamlessly. And if you don't have this exact palette, any kind of translucent powder or light eyeshadow will work. Then on my Sigma E40 brush, I'm taking the shades Georgia and Peaches and Cream. I'm just kind of mixing them together and we're going to use this as our transition shade by blending it into the crease. I did have to go in a few times and try and build this up because they're not the most pigmented shades. They are quite light, so it's to be expected that they're not super pigmented, but I did have just a little bit of trouble building up the colors in this palette. I then went in with the shade Candied Peach. I think that's what it says, Candied Peach? I don't really know, I'm trying to read like what's on my screen. And I just took that on my Sigma E25 brush, just applied that into the crease and the outer corner because at this point I wasn't really sure what the eyeshadow look was going to look like, so that's why I'm kind of building it up on the outer corner as well, so you definitely don't have to do that. And I just went back in with the E40 brush to blend that out, and I did do that a few times to build that up, so probably like 4 or 5 times to really build up the intensity. I then took the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and I'm just applying this straight onto my eyelids, and then I'm going in with my F70 brush from Sigma and I'm just going to start cutting the crease. So any old concealer that you have will do, and I would just say build up a little bit at a time. My favorite trick for if anyone has hooded eyelids, and this is what I like to do as well, is to just take the concealer a little bit above where your natural crease is, and it's just going to help to show the cut crease when you're looking straight forward. So where your eyelid folds over, kind of just go above that, and then that way you can still see that you have the cut crease and your eyelid isn't going to completely cover it. So I initially used the shade Nectar from the palette to set the eyelid as like the overall shade, but it wasn't really what I was looking for, so instead I took the shade Daydream from the Nicole Guerriero Glow kit. Definitely don't have to use this, but this is what I had laying in front of me and I just thought the shade was perfect for this look. You could probably mix a couple of the shades from the palette, from like the eyeshadow palette, and get a similar lid shade to this, but again, this is just what I had in front of me, so that's what I used. And I then went in with the shade Just Peachy from the Too Faced palette, and I used this on the outer corner of the eye just to create a slight ombre effect and just have a little bit more dimension in the cut crease. Then taking my Kat Von D tattoo liner in the shade Trooper, it's just a black eyeliner, has a blush, has a brush tip, so it's not like a regular pen eyeliner. It's a lot easier to use, and this is pretty much the only eyeliner I ever use. Tried to use a regular pen eyeliner the other day and oh my god, it was an absolute nightmare, so I'm never trying that again. I am just using my tried and true, so I definitely recommend it if you guys struggle with eyeliner like I do. I then went in and applied the Huda Beauty lashes in the style Farah, and then I just used a little bit of that eyeliner again just to make sure the band was nicely covered. And to finish off the eye look, I just took a little bit of mascara to blend my lashes with the falsies so everything blended in seamlessly, and that is the completed eye look. Then moving on to the base, I did want to have quite a luminous dewy base coming through, so I used my Tarte Brighter Days moisturizer that has like a really nice luminous glow to it, and I just massaged that into the skin and it just looks really amazing. If you guys haven't tried this before, I definitely recommend it. And then to prime my skin, I used my Too Faced Hangover Primer because I feel like my skin's been a little bit dehydrated lately, so I just wanted to use some really nourishing and moisturizing base products on it. For foundation, I used the Hourglass Stick Foundation because I wanted a really flawless coverage today. And I'm a little cake face, let's be honest. I'm just using the shade Warm Ivory, and then I'm blending that out with my Beauty Blender. I do really love using a Beauty Blender sponge with this foundation, and it's just really flawless. I did just recently do a foundation review on this, so if you guys want to check that out and see my full thoughts and opinions, I'll leave that listed in the description box for you guys. Then to conceal my dark circles as well as highlight underneath the eyes, because I do like a really bright highlight, I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair Neutral. This is a little bit light for me, but I just don't have a shade that perfectly matches, but I kind of like that really bright under eye. So I just applied a little swipe of that, and then I'm going back in with that same Beauty Blender and just blending everything out. And then I'm going in and contouring using the Benefit Quickie Contour Stick in the shade Hula. I'm like obsessed with this. It's really creamy. It's so easy to use. If you're looking for a contour stick, I definitely recommend this one because it's like that perfect shade. It's not too cool or not too warm. It's just like the perfect color. Blends out amazingly, and you guys can see I do have to blend it down my neck because my fake tan for some reason doesn't stick to my neck very well, so I always have to blend my foundation and a little bit of bronzer down there just to make sure it blends in seamlessly. I just use my Sigma F80 foundation brush to do that. Don't forget you guys can use the code Kasey Rayton to get 10% off anything from Sigma. That is an affiliate code, so I do make a small commission from the sales made using that, so don't feel pressured to use it. It's just there if you guys want to. And then for the rest of the contour on my face, I just took that Beauty Blender and blended everything out so it all like kind of melted into the foundation and just looked really seamless. I then took one of my favorite setting powders at the moment, which is the one from Cover FX. I can't remember the exact name, so I will leave it listed down below for you guys, and I do link all of my products in the description box. But I just used my Sigma F35 brush to set underneath my eyes, and then the F37 to set the rest of my face. I really love this powder because it just makes your skin look really flawless and poreless. And then I'm going back into the eyes and doing the lower lash line, taking the shade Candied Peach, and I'm using the F63 brush from Sigma just to start smoking that out, and then I go in with the E32 to get it a little bit more precise and packed on there, and then back in with the F63 to blend that out. Again, I did have to do this quite a few times to build up the intensity and pigmentation. And then I took the shade Summer Yum, I think it's called, on my E32 brush from Sigma and just really packed that along the lower lash line, just really closely, and just really packed that on. And then I went back in with the F63 brush to blend that out. And I then took this eyeliner from Urban Decay. I can't remember the exact shade name, but it's like a really gorgeous rusty sort of shade. And I just applied that into the waterline itself. And then back in with Summer Yum, I used that to set the waterline to make sure that eyeliner is not budging anywhere. And I just applied a ton more of that eyeshadow shade to further make it really grungy and just smoke everything out. I really love how the lower lash line looks on this because it kind of all just blends into one and just kind of makes a really pretty girly kind of lid look a little bit more grungy, if you guys get me. It's kind of contrast between the eyelid and the lower lash line. So again, I went back in with the shade Nectar, and I used that to pop the inner corner, but it wasn't really doing it for me, so I went back in with the shade Daydream. And I applied that to the inner corner, and it was exactly what I was looking for. And then I went in with my Too Faced bronzer to finish off the face. This is the Milk Chocolate Soleil one. It's one of my favorites. I've been obsessed with this lately. I know I need to use some different products in my videos, but I did film these quite a while ago. So you guys will see some new products coming up very soon. But I just used that bronzer to further define the chiseled areas of my face, the contoured areas, and just further bronze it up. Then to add a little bit of glow to the skin, I'm using the Nicole Guerriero Glow Kit from Anastasia Beverly Hills, the same shade that we used on the eyes, which is Daydream, and I'm just pretty much drowning my entire face in that. I really love this highlight palette. It kind of makes your skin look wet in like the best way. I just think it's really, really beautiful, and I'm just literally putting so much on my face. You guys know me, love to glow. And then I'm taking the Papa Don't Peach blush from Too Faced, and I'm just taking that on my large angled contour brush from Sigma, and pretty much just adding like a ton of blush to the cheeks. I do love a good blush, and this smells incredible. Then to finish off the lips, I'm using the MAC Boldly Bare Lip Pencil. It's just a really pretty pink nude, and I'm using that to define the lip line. And I'm then going in with the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. I believe this is in the shade Cairo, I think. I'll leave it listed down below if I'm wrong. But I don't love these. Oh, I don't know what it is. They're really drying, and I just found like I had to dip in like 1,000 times to get any kind of color payoff. I don't know, I wanted to try out like one of these again because I haven't used them in a really long time, but it was just a bit of a letdown. It's really hard to build up the color, and it's just a super weird consistency. So after I like spent 10 minutes trying to build that up on my lips, I then just took one of the Too Faced Sweet Peach lip glosses in the shade Peach Fuzz, which is like my favorite from the collection. These are so hydrating and moisturizing and just nourishing on the lips, and they look freaking beautiful, and I just absolutely love them. So I feel like it was the perfect lip combination for this eye look. It was just a shame that the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream took such a long time to build up. But that's basically it for this tutorial. So I really hope that you I really hope you guys enjoyed this look. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video.